So there's one thing that you might ask yourself or might feel when you start out drawing. And it's the fact that you might feel that you don't have talent. And some artists are inclined to say that it's just a poor excuse, that you as a beginner don't understand how much work it took to get to where they are as artists. And that's true. But at the same time, I feel like some artists, when they say, no, it's just hard work, they kind of undermine the struggle that a beginner has to go through in order to learn. So I think it's kind of valid to ask yourself, do I just lack talent? Because the truth is, I've known how to draw since I was a kid. Since before I had memories, I've been better than my peers. So if there is such a thing as talent, I think you're probably warranted to call me talented. I've never experienced the feeling of struggling with art. It's just been a part of my life forever. And so when it comes to art, I can't actually relate to what it's like struggling. But does this change anything? Is saying I lack talent just a poor excuse? Well, it could be. I think you should ask yourself when learning a new skill, any skill, but especially drawing in this case, because that's what we're talking about. And it's whether you have given it a proper shot. Because the thing you have to understand is that most skills require some thinking. And so what happens when you draw is that you have to make sort of abstract choices, like how do I want my colors? What color should I pick? How do I want my design to look? And these are kind of abstract thoughts that require that you can think properly. And that means that you need to be able to be relaxed when drawing. The thing is, when you just start out drawing, just drawing a simple line might be so cognitively straining that you don't really have extra room to think about these abstract decisions. You're not relaxed about the drawing process. You're not relaxed about doing this type of stuff. So you really don't have room to sort of think about what you're doing. You're just thinking about drawing a straight line and it ends up looking bad, and then you redo it and you do it again and you fail. And there's no room here. There's no space here to make decisions about how you want things to look. You're just struggling all the time. And if you're in that position, then obviously what you're going to feel is that you can't really draw. But that's just because you have just started out. This is what happens for everything. Everything when you're starting out requires quite a bit of cognitive load. And so you need to do it enough so that you get past that stage. Have you ever seen kids, like really young children, carrying plates? It's actually quite atrocious. They look away, and when they look away, the plate tips. Carrying a plate for them, it requires cognitive attention. Whereas for you, carrying a plate doesn't require any attention. You can do lots of other decisions. You can do lots of other tasks while carrying a plate. A young child can't. And when you're starting out drawing, it's the same thing. Drawing a line requires all your attention, so now you can't do anything else. And so why do I say this? Well, because I think that before you give your excuse that I can't draw, you really need to know that you're past the stage where you're struggling to do simple things. If you're still struggling to do simple things like drawing a line, then you haven't given drawing a proper shot. I would say you kind of don't know how to draw yet, because drawing comes past that point. It comes past the point about paying attention to how you draw a line. And so how can you check this? Well, I'm kind of doing it at the moment. I'm drawing while talking without a script, but I can do it kind of while talking. And I think this is important, because if you've gotten to a stage where you can talk and draw at the same time, that's when I feel that you're actually starting to draw for real. And so why do I say this? Well, it's because I understand that it's going to feel really terrible learning how to draw. At the moment, at the stage you're at, you probably feel that it's really tricky drawing. And that's warranted. I felt the same way about learning Blender. But once I got more comfortable with Blender, Blender started becoming fun. But before, when I struggled to do even the most basic of things in Blender, I really didn't like Blender. Well, I don't actually want to say much more than I think that you should give drawing a proper shot before you give up on it. It's gonna feel bad, it's gonna be boring, it's gonna be annoying the first 40, 50, 60 hours. Slowly but surely, it's going to feel slightly easier and then slightly easier. And hopefully, once you're past that point, once you're past maybe 100 hours of drawing, it might actually get fun. But I think that for a lot of people, you really can't squeeze fun out of the first 50 hours. So before you give up on drawing, at least give it a proper shot. Thanks for watching. Bye.